Welcome to Dirty Datini. I'm your host, Christina Kane. This is the unfiltered podcast that takes you through the dirty truth of dating, modern romance, relationships, and most importantly, self-discovery. Remember, love isn't always neat, and sometimes life is on the rocks, but it's sure worth the mess.
Welcome back to another episode of Dirty Datini. I'm your host, Christina Kane, the girlfriend guys never knew they needed and the bestie that girls always wish they had. In today's episode, I am diving into how to be chaste and not chase. I think we live in a time where we want what we can't have. And so we tend to chase those things. But just like a dog, if you chase it, it's going to run away. If you sit comfortably on the couch with maybe some treats to entice it, then it is going to come your way. So I think it's important to realize that if you really want something, don't chase it. Let it come to you. So many people in this day and age are constantly caught up in why this person doesn't like them, why this person doesn't pursue them. And they're so focused on wanting to understand why other people don't want to be a part of their lives. And when doing so, they kind of chase those other people and be extra friendly to those other people or super accommodating more than they would be. And I think you need to sit back and just remember and remind yourself, why are you chasing someone else when you already have plenty of people on your sidelines that want to be in your life without you having to do anything? But let's say there are some people that you want in your life. I'm going to give you some tips on how to attract them, but not chase them. And this will hopefully have them chasing you. So to start things off, having confidence. People want to be around confident people. It radiates energy. It makes them feel like they too are confident, even if they are not confident. When you have confidence in yourself and your pursuits, people know that you kind of can't be fucked with. Because you are so confident in who you are, what you stand for, your abilities, what you want in your life, your passions, your interests, that it's almost intimidating. And for some, it will be too intimidating that they won't chase you. But those aren't the people you want in your life. You don't want meek mice in your life anyways. You want someone that is assertive and is going to add value to your life. So if your confidence scares someone away, then that's not someone you want in your life anyways. But your confidence is there and usually empowers people to want to be a part of your life. And let's say you're not that confident. You're not the most confident person. You're maybe a little bit insecure. Well, fake it until you make it. Be it until you become it. Because it's really not that hard. It's not that hard. Just fake it. You know, watch some of your favorite TV shows and movies, and you see how these people just exude confidence. And they get what they want, and they know how to handle a situation. I feel like confidence is something that can easily be faked. A lot of people who are confident are faking it. You would never know because they're so good at faking it. And I would say I am one of those people. I'm confident, and I know how to hold my own and stand the ground, but there's also times that I'm not confident and I'm intimidated and I'm insecure, but I just fake it. I pretend I'm confident. I pretend I know what I'm doing. I pretend I got it all under control. And when you're confident, it exudes confidence and positivity, and it radiates and it fills a room. And people want to be around confident people. The right people want to be around confident people. When you are around these people, you should avoid talking or venting about wanting to be in a relationship. Do not share that with people. Do not post it on social media, because someone who is truly okay with being by themselves doesn't need to be in a relationship. They don't have to get the benefits that someone else can offer in order to feel whole. They already feel whole. And so someone coming into your life for a relationship, well, that's just an added benefit of the package. But you don't need to be in a relationship, because people who need to be in a relationship and are really needy, well, sometimes they're codependent. And nobody wants to be in a relationship with someone who feels like they need that person. Like they aren't themselves without that person. They don't have their own identity unless that person's there. So avoid talking about the need to be in a relationship. Of course, we all want to be in a relationship. Of course, we would all love to be in a relationship. How awesome would that be to find your own person and be in a relationship and be Bonnie and Clyde and take over the world? That would be great, but you don't need it. Be good with being by yourself, and don't project the need or desire to be in a relationship. A relationship will find you when it's meant to find you. And in the meantime, just be good on your own and show others that you are good on your own. And with that comes independence. Cultivating your interest in your hobbies and having your own life going on is super attractive. When someone sees someone who has their own life and they don't need anyone a part of it, that's almost a life you want to be a part of, because you're like, wow, they are so good on their own. They do their own things. They have their own hobbies. They don't have to be with anybody. That feels like a safe space where it's someone I could be with, and I know that I would still be able to have my own life as well. With not having the need to talk about your relationships and avoid talking about the need to be in a relationship or the desire to be in a relationship, be independent. You don't need it. You're good on your own, Miss Independent or Mr. Independent. People who are independent don't get caught up in the fantasy of being in a relationship. You know, we've all been there. We've all done that, where you meet a guy or you meet a girl and you start planning the wedding, thinking about what your future would look like, how much fun you would have together, where your wedding's going to be. And this almost every time leads to disappointment, because you're creating a false reality in your head that is then causing you to act under the presumptions of that false reality. Ultimately, you end up pushing the person away because there's an energy shift. When you're good on your own, whether there's a relationship or not, and you're just taking it for what it is at face value, people can feel that. But when you meet someone and you're like, oh my God, I've never met anyone like this, like you're telling your friends about them, you're going out of your way to see them, it reeks desperation. And everyone wants what they can't have, like I just said. So don't get caught up in the fantasy land of what a relationship could be and start having those hallucinations of what that relationship could be. Stay in the reality. Stay in the reality of the relationship, and don't be caught up in the fantasy, because when you're caught up in the fantasy, it changes and shifts how you act towards that person and also how you act towards yourself. But if you stay really realistic with who you are and what the relationship is, then the relationship will naturally evolve how it's supposed to, as opposed to the fantasy that you created in your mind that will probably never happen. This one's really small, but how to be chased and not be the chaser. I don't advise you to send paragraphs to someone that you're not dating, good or bad, because this person doesn't deserve paragraphs from you. And when you're sending them paragraphs, you're just validating in their mind how much you already have invested in this relationship, even though they haven't even committed to you. So whether you're sending paragraphs and it be something good, or whether you're sending paragraphs and it be something bad, this person doesn't deserve that much time or thought from you. And they probably know that. And they probably get off on you sending them paragraphs because they're like, wow, like we're not even that deep into this, and I'm already irking this person. I'm already getting underneath their skin. So in a way, it's a sick power play, and that gives them power because they know that even though the relationship has just started, you're already sending them paragraphs. I'm guilty of this, okay? I've sent guys paragraphs, like, before even being in a relationship with them. None of them of which I've even, like, probably entered a relationship with them. But there were things that were bothering me. So, like, for example, this one guy was always saying he was going to do something, but he never did it. It's like, you just talk the talk. You don't walk the walk. And, like, my good faith in people, I wanted him to be the person that says he was going to do something and then actually do it. But it just got underneath my skin, and I sent him a paragraph. But he didn't deserve that paragraph. Because where is he now? Not here. So don't give people that much power and send them paragraphs. Because in the beginning, they should not have that much investment or that much toll over your life. One thing that I see a lot of people do is like post their DMs about how people want them or think they're so hot or would love to take them out, or post that, you know, girls are sliding in their DMs and they're ignoring them because they want another girl who they have interest in to see that and be like, oh, wow, he's curving all those girls just for me. It doesn't work like that. If you, guy or girl, post how many people are messaging you on Instagram or texting you, thinking that that is going to make you more of a high value person, it doesn't, because a high value person doesn't have to show off how many people want them in their lives. That is confidential. And if you're constantly posting about how many people are DMing you or texting you in hopes that the other person sees this and is like, oh, wow, they're getting hit up all the time, that makes me want that person more. It doesn't work like that. If anything, it actually turns us off because it also shows insecurity, that you have to almost go out of your way to prove a point and be like, all these girls are hitting me up. All these guys are hitting me up. See, you should feel special that I want to spend time with you and I'm ignoring those people. It does the exact opposite. It doesn't work for you. It works against you. Guys and girls see that and they think, okay, this person's insecure. They have low self-worth. They're having to prove their point and validate themselves on social media and think that it's going to change my perception of them. It doesn't. So keep that to yourself. Also, we all have our own lives going on. We don't really give a fuck how many people are DMing you or texting you. It's not going to make a light bulb go off in our head and be like, oh, wow, Adam is getting so many DMs a day that he's ignoring. That makes me want him more, because it does. It doesn't. You shouldn't have to show everything you are doing on social media or constantly be updating someone via text, because there's a sexiness and an attractiveness about mystery, not knowing what someone's doing, not knowing who someone's with. It keeps you engaged and it keeps you curious in the start of a relationship. So let them miss you. You know, live your life. Don't post everything you're doing. Don't share everything you're doing with somebody. It's none of their business. When you tell someone everything that you're doing in your life, they know everything you're doing, so it leaves no room for curiosity. But when you keep certain things a secret, you share just enough to make them feel like they're a part of your life. But you withhold certain things because either A, it's none of their business, or B, you're just not really to that stage in dating yet, or whatnot. So, you know, you withhold certain things. It makes them more curious about you. So keep certain things a mystery. Not everything has to be revealed in the beginning of a relationship. Who are they to get to know everything that's going on with you in your life? Keep it a mystery. In Gossip Girl, this is something I want to start doing more. And I know it's a TV show, but I really love how in Gossip Girl, like, they'll be going to a gala or an event or to a dinner, and like Blair will send that last text to Serena and be like, I can't talk right now. And she puts her phone down on the table and you see her just exit. It's like she left her phone at home. No one can get in contact with her. No one knows where she is. She's purely living in the moment, doing whatever she's doing. and enjoying herself. Because also I think when you have your phone on you, you're not present. We always want to be other places that we're not at. We always wonder what the other person's doing. Maybe we're having a nice time out with some friends, having some drinks, but then we see so-and-so post a story that they're at this place. Now your mind is wondering what it is like at this place. Should you go to that place and leave the current place you're at? And you're constantly chasing the next best thing when the best thing for you is right in front of you. Be present, be in the moment. Don't share everything you're doing. Don't share everyone that you're with. It's really none of anyone's business. And if you think sharing this is going to make the other person jealous and chase you more, maybe it will. But if it does, it's not for the right reasons. That's just because they're egotistical and they want to be the one that gets you. But someone who really wants to be in your life and is someone that should be there, you showing off all the things you're doing, it's not even going to affect them. They're going to be like, cool, have fun. So keep your life a mystery and maybe be like Blair and leave your phone at home sometimes. So to piggyback off what I was saying about let there be mystery, leave them be, let them miss you. Don't always let them be included in everything that's going on in your life. Remember that you don't owe anybody anything. So you are free to do whatever you want to do. And if you are keeping a more private life and not sharing your every walking moment, and they get flustered about that, then it's just a game. Because someone who is confident in your relationship and has open communication with you, if you go off the grid, they're not freaking out. They're not wondering what you're doing. They're like, go have fun, enjoy yourself. If you go off the grid and someone's like, where are you? What are you doing? Calling. They're doing that because you're not in reach right now. And they think that they have a grasp on you. But when you go off the grid, that feeling that they were once so certain about diminishes. And then once you circle back into their life, then they fall back again. So if anyone is like that with you, that's just a game. It's a game of cat and mouse. And once they catch you, they're probably going to be over it. Because that's not somebody that genuinely wanted to invest in you because of you. It was just the high that they got off the game. And once they won the game, they're on to the next game. This is one that people may feel is kind of silly, but don't double text. Don't call multiple times in a row within the same 5 minutes. We are all always on our phone. Always. I don't care what you do. I don't care who you are. We always have this in arm's reach. And we see your message. We see your message. They see your message. Don't double text. Taylor Swift also said that she does not double text. So if Taylor Swift doesn't do it, and clearly her dating life is thriving because she constantly has a rotating roster, good for her. If you text someone and they don't respond and then you continue to text them, that diminishes your value and your self-worth because you're chasing validation and response from someone else. As opposed to if you text them and they don't respond, cool. You're not affected by that. If you want to be chased, do not double text. Do not call multiple times. People are always on their phone. They see your text. They see your call. They're probably watching the phone ring as you're calling. They're choosing not to respond to you. They're choosing not to answer you. So if you continue to text, to call, then your level of value is going to go down to them. I know that's so silly. I know you would think we're in a place where people can just communicate freely. But as much as I don't advocate playing games, sometimes a little bit of game is necessary. But my game isn't necessarily game, like playing mentally fucked up games that ultimately are just going to hurt someone's feelings. My games are just staying true to you, holding your own ground, and remaining a mystery, and being a little bit out of reach. That's all. If you want someone to chase you, add value to their life. Maybe you don't see each other or talk to each other often, but when you do spend time together or when you do talk, make that time spent together so fun, so memorable that they want to see you again. When you do talk, have insightful conversation, have witty, fun banter. So then they want more of it. When you don't get something that often, but it's a pleasant experience, you want more of it. If you're constantly getting something and it's a pleasant experience, you want more of it. But nobody wants to be around somebody that nags all the time or isn't pleasurable to be around or isn't enjoyable to text or be on the phone with. So I know we all have shit going on in our lives that sometimes we project onto other people, but that's not their issue. That's your own issue. So don't project that onto them. When you're with someone or when you're texting someone, be in that moment and add value to their life, and they will see the value that you add to theirs. But most importantly, out of all of this is self-improvement. You can play the games can play you, but you need to focus on your own personal growth and continuous self-improvement. You're not worried about people pursuing you because you're focusing on your own self-improvement. And by doing so, that will result in you being chased. Because if someone sees someone who is so focused on their self, so independent, lives life on their terms, that is someone that people want around. A lot of people meet someone, and because it's hard to meet someone in this day and age, they kind of shape and alter their self into what that other person wants so they can be wanted by that person. But you can tell when somebody is doing that. Stay true to who you are. Have your own life. Have your own opinions. Don't change your opinions on how you feel about something just because so-and-so said he feels differently or she feels differently. Stay true to what you feel. These were all just some tips and recommendations that I advise you to implement into your life if you want to be the one being chased instead of feeling like you are chasing others. The most important thing you could do is focus on yourself and your own self-growth, your own self-improvement, and what you want in your life. And whatever you want in your life, go and do those things that you want to do in your life, regardless of if you have someone there or not. People want what they can't have. People want someone who feels out of reach to them. And that's okay, naturally, to want that at first. But you can tell a lot about someone and the relationship within the first couple of months. Even within the first couple of weeks. Because if you're playing cat and mouse and they're love bombing you and pursuing you like crazy, and then you entertain them and then they back off, and then you back off, so then they start pursuing again. It's a game of cat and mouse. You don't want to be chasing them, and you shouldn't want them chasing you, because that's just going to result in a waste of time. And these are the type of people that if they find that entertaining and they play those games, then once they have you, they're on to the next mouse. They're on to doing that with someone else, because those people are not even looking for someone to be in a relationship with. They're not even looking for a substantial connection. they just get a high off of this whole cat and mouse, mentally confusing, fucked up bullshit. Who wants who's doing what, who has a higher power play here. Like, that's all it is for them. And you may feel like you do all of the things that I mentioned on today's episode, or you may feel like you do some of them. If you're doing all of them and you're still not being chased or pursued by others, it's not you. Just stay in your own world and continue to focus on you, because it's not you. It's the people that you are encountering. The people that you are encountering are down here while you're up here, and they can tell that you're someone that's not to be fucked with because you respect yourself and you know your worth. So they're not even going to try to pursue you because they know it's going to be a lost cause. Those are low value people. The people that see that you have high self-respect, high self-esteem, high self-worth, and they don't chase after you, those are low value people. They see that they can't bring the board game into play and that you won't even pick up a chess piece because you're not even going to read the instructions. You're not going to entertain it. But the people that see that you are high value, they will chase you, because they too respect themselves and they want to be with someone that has the same respect as they do for themselves. That's it for today's episode. I feel like I went on a total rampage. I do not know if I made any sense. This was all just coming from my heart and my mind. I hope you listeners or viewers take something away from this, because modern dating sucks. And if you find yourself chasing after somebody, you need to be focusing on yourself and how to increase your self-respect for yourself and how to be okay with being by yourself and how to have confidence and hold your own in a room, because you shouldn't have to chase after anyone. We spend so much time chasing after people that we want in our lives when we have so many people, great people that are already in our lives that deserve our attention. So in the meantime, until you find someone who's really going to pursue you because you are a high value individual, focus on the people you already have in your life. Do not chase. Attract the correct ones that will pursue you. And any of the cat and mouse games that you come across along the way, point them in the other direction. It's not worth your time. It's never been worth anyone's time. It always ultimately ends up being a waste of time. Thank you for listening to this episode of Dirty Datini. Make sure to follow me on Instagram at Dirty Datini. You can also follow my own personal account at It's Christina Kane. This is all in the show notes below. The Instagram and the TikTok is the exact same social handles. If you have any questions you want answered on Dirty Datini, email me at the email in the show notes below. See you in the next episode.
Before we get back to reality, if you're hearing this message, you've listened to the entire episode. And for that, you're iconic. But before we part ways, I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you did, don't be shy and leave a review. Thirsty for more? Follow Dirty Datini on Instagram and TikTok at Dirty Datini. Oh, and just remember, we're on this journey together. Until next time, stay dirty and stay flirty.